legal, yeah.
On the between forward, embremuni ade. And they na be say enti attorney general na adwuma ne say. In fact, yen cancer na do dan kwa Akufo-Addo. No so advice.
Ora was aftermath na so
attorney general. No be na nya aftermath na advisor.
First na mo akutufo no na advice on political.
Yeah.
I know a political advisor. Thank you, Rebecca said, if for say in Siasa, no advice on health, by health minister or any other.
Right, young quite, and I come a year in so back num. I hear quite say, and you're not phrase.
Enumenum 5 things. John Dramani Mahama, in the first term, our by 2013 to 2017, Ankoye, which led to his massive defeat in 2016. No? These are 5 things you put it together. If he's able to correct, it would make his government a very good one. First one, say he failed to conclusively deal with perceived corruption scandals. There's a corruption scandal, maybe to say the Jida scandal, the Bas Braden scandal, even the Woyome case, a transfer from at that time at the bar at the time. People failed to get a conclusion on those issues, which led to a lot of backlash during his government, and overall led to a loss during the election,
when it comes to perceived corruption, we are president in your starter can so we show a posture. I say senya no krepa ye fan 7 a presidency now for white paper. And Fantro and Clay, for free, or Yan Sagana for a betrialka, said about to be bad. And also, Yam putting across as at 2015, when John Dramani Mahama was in government, at the time, CPI was at an all-time high. CPI, Corruption Perception Index. Afrobarometer for the buyout every year. At 2015, it was at an all-time high. Even though now, a cost return, the reality was 2015. But then, at the time, it was at an all-time high. Into his failure to deal conclusively with corruption perceived issues, echo against the government. The second one is power crisis and poor management of the energy sector. If John Dramani Mahama is able to keep the lights on throughout in the 4 years, it would be a very huge plus to his government, and it would be an A on his report card. Say he has been able to that's why now Henry as interviews be our ground, so you find into us.
Very nice, but at the end of the day, things are done now. The pomp and the pageantry is done. What lies ahead is real work. The die is cast, the clock is ticking. Mind you, he even reaffirmed his commitment to the 120 days over here. For us as a media, what do? Ours is to keep him on his toes, keep him in check, and ensure that the very things that he said he would do, we will see evidence of it manifestly done. But it equally behoves on us as citizens of this nation as well to also commit ourselves to building the Ghana that everybody wants. And so, yes, of course, with all the dignitaries, the heads of state across the sub-region, the continent, across the world who came here, it means that they have a special interest in Ghana. They still believe that Ghana is the beacon of hope. Ghana is the destination of doing business, and it's also important that the president and his the government that he will be leading would also create an enabling environment for businesses to thrive. And so we can only wait, watch, and see how things will be able to pan out.
Kamala, thank you. And that's it from all of us here at the Black Star Square, where we wrap it all up and hand it over back to you in the studio.
Right, yes, I'm so me. I send drop for the Nadine Como, Kobla Kluche, and what is it? Egbeta, Bakwin, I make it way. Egbeta, now, I'm a refugee, move and tell me why. You'd also happy if you had Nipper Guanya some K20. If you were to me home by face, 19 BB or Kwame, Twasso.
And point number 3, poor economic management and rising public debt. Say, at the time when John Dramani Mahama was in government, there was a lot of news about economy was going down. GDP, debt to GDP kept rising. Foreign exchange kept dropping. There was a lot of it. In fact, one of the factors that cause the NPP administration to lose the 2024 elections massively was because of poor economic management and the rising public debt. And one of the things that John Dramani Mahama me corrected in this administration, it would be a plus on.
But that's we shouldn't burden him too much with the fact that economy no ebedina brand obi ahobeto no di amen. I keep saying it. Obi man meka say udokono 1 cedi sa brand nti emra 1 cedi because here ka say a car edaho say enye kaketwa although nanado danko akufo ado the state of the nation okoka say we jabe $8 billion bi e dey atu e futuo last one you can see this guy here Ghana is no broke
your friend say oh sikaya
IMF
Debbie who say yeah time of gold reserves see the gold for oil in there we decided to keep some money
what he was talking about international reserve
and I make a gold dollar
international reserve
you decided says $1 no you bet me keep you I say be bet me aboa says can no work ho asem but enu nti Ghana here na mum ohwe ka wo ho ne se ya manfo dan ye ka wa ye keda no no zo mo ntro so repo enti na wo sika wo na wo de nkofo ka contractors ebi awu ni ade a ka nti baby e ka wo ho ne ade na se otubi tenete no anti na me ka se no it would take some time enye nne no ochna na Ghana economy be se dada na dollar be ba for cedis nti eno na abotre kakra na ono so be ka no kore tre nti se de waka so be ka no kore na tre me ehu true state and then what he will be able to do ebetimi aboama economy no apicking kakra it just wouldn't happen boom like that to us.
Okay. Point number 4, disconnection with the grassroots and perceived elitism. Before NDC for presidential primaries in 2019, contested John Dramani Mahama Nibiye, the current Speaker of Parliament, Gusi Tano, Ekos Gabra, and Joshua Labi, contested John Dramani Mahama.
Yes.
In that particular primary, some of the issues that Nkofo raised against John Dramani Mahama at the time, even though he won the primaries, was said when he was in government, by the year 2016, they had lost touch with the grassroots, and the people in the grassroots and the base of their party were not happy because they had lost touch. And they had lost touch with the ordinary Ghanaian, also with the grassroots of the NDC party. And, one of the things as John Dramani Mahama, it's me a year now or managing it properly and carefully, it will be a plus for him. He should manage his connection with the grassroots and then manage the perceived elitism. That also went against the NPP government in the 2024 election.
Grassroots no NPP aban we pa
they say NDC they were not noted for elitism no aye kan. Because so kai pra
the NDC then it's not the NDC today. Oh, them say the NDC today yesterday is not the NDC today. Analysis Henry. The night ya chechi mo ani ekwe manamba Henry. Sa grassroots asemi ana na kwa me ken na ye ka say MPP for aban. Eno how mo pa but you see the second coming of John Dramani Mahama just recently na omo ye omadwe so be victory party no victory jam no grassroots spoke ebi bisa say grassroots himfa na no omo but according to omo grassroots kasai Emma grassroots no kasa no omjina so use stone boy free stage no so anasa bail no so those who were supposed to perform ebi akasa say when be ayenhwe ni ye betimi ahadwene we can use that and it can also divide Ghana completely and no it's important say grassroots no because they make you need to think about them. Trust.
The last one on your list we poor communication and public relations. We know the ultimate thing for every government. In fact, as of now, people still believe say the NDC administration and John Dramani Mahama the first term were poor communicators.
Right.
They should be able to communicate on projects somewhere and then the good things they have done, and then also to be able to defend some of the decisions they take.
Yes.
The failure to defend decisions they take and then failure to communicate and your mom why Ebema Ghana for who say my say na say so na mean to me no. Ni nyina aka ho e na Emma John Dramani Mahama. the number of votes in 2016. No? And as time went on, Ghanaians got to know certain things are not omonim at the time. Poor communication and public relations was one of the mistakes that John Dramani Mahama should not repeat in this administration. Right,
so you call then the first 120 days in Samoa or the 26 near my watch or per se way. Maminchia Nana Anochi Wasin for so or so Ria TV has taken over the waves this afternoon. It has proper a race when Yabre at Naho na all share the inauguration of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. And Kwame, don't forget, he's the president of Ghana. Yeah, now you refer or a former bill or a president.
You need to reset your thoughts.
You know, we all have to reset our thoughts and our talking and our thinking. So I will reflect in what we say. Yanko.
Okay. The current president of Ghana, John Dramani Mahama, during his campaign, on my a list of things here, or say in the first 120 days of we can say the first 120 days should be by May 5, 2025. Yes. And I think by May 7, either right. May 5 or May 7. By May 5 or May 7, we are looking at, by then, John Dramani Mahama would have nominated the ministers, the complete list of the cabinet for parliamentary approval. Yes, or say he was going to nominate 60 of them. And in fact, Winkra has a special timelines. Until we not say within the first 14 days, no, he would have done that. Until from that is January 7, January 21, we should have that. So he would have nominated 60 cabinet ministers for parliamentary approval. Second one is he would constitute the leanest and most efficient government under the Fourth Republic in the first 90 days. By 90 days, no, he would bring out the full list of people who are going to work in his government. And he is perceiving and hoping, it would be the leanest and most efficient government in the Fourth Republic.
Timeline. We must say cabinet ministers, all of 60 will not all be cabinet ministers. Let's clarify that.
Yeah. Next one, Oba establish a robust code of conduct and standards for all government officials. They say, Ode, in Kata na acheche ubia yebefa na abemu se omame yedmo abemu the way obesi afa abonebra ene nyome bia obetimi ene ne ontimi nyani nyina. Right. Code of conduct and standards, no. He would bring that. He would also hold a national economic dialogue to discuss the true state of the economy and prepare a homegrown fiscal consolidation program to guide the budget. That is, as much as the fiscal plan and then the budget statement is going to be read every year, no? He would also hold the national economic dialogue, saying about discussing the true state of the economy. Most of the time, yes, state of the nation address by in question what is the true state of the nation? Or say he's going to hold national economic dialogues to discuss some of these things. The fourth one also within the first 90 days in office, he will scrap the following draconian taxes to alleviate hardships and ease high costs of doing businesses. First one is scrapping e-levy, COVID-19 levy, the 10% levy on bet winnings, and the emission levy. This has already brought out a lot of controversies. Nkofo are advising him, don't take this one out, keep this one, take that one out, and idea. So we are looking up to the first 90 days, that would also be done. He also said, within the first 90 days in office, he would review taxes and levies on vehicles and equipment imported into the country for industrial and agricultural purposes. Mind you, a review, not scrap. So, a review a necessary to maintain, he would maintain those taxes. But within the first 90 days, he would have a review, a comprehensive review on some of those taxes and levies on vehicles and equipment imported into the country. The next one is he will commence drafting needed legal amendments and prepare for implementation of the 24-hour economy policy under the office of the president. Yeah. Ene enkata simbia ehube hia se ne be 24-hour economy policy ebe fully effective in this government, he would make sure he would have all of those things in place within the first 120 days. Another one is he wants to establish an accelerated export development council.
Right.
to promote exports as part of a broader strategy for economic transformation. Let's just say, a ban on import and export, or per se, or promoting exports, he is going to establish an accelerated export development council that is going to help.
Right?
24-hour economy.
Export net
24-hour economy.
24-hour economy and something export.
Yeah.
Okay. Next one, he will convene a national consultative conference on education to build a consensus on needed improvements in the sector. Prior to the election, there was a lot of talk about free senior high school. Is it going to be scrapped? What is going to happen to improve upon our education sector?
In fact, Tepe came out to talk about the fact that day school for no should be the ones benefiting NDC for not teaching.
Yes, that's what I mean. Because it will be between a sikeni baba for whatever reason or code day. It will be so between a hieni but for whatever reason what call bear day. Now I say stranger will be a good day. Money will be a cobody, won't be there.
But he came out, at that time, President-elect came out to clarify, said what he's looking for is to hold a stakeholders meeting near Chani the way forward.
Within the first 120 days,
Right.
John Dramani Mahama would implement the no academic fee policy for all first-year students in public tertiary institutions such as universities, colleges of education, and nursing training institutions. Let's just say, or the no fee stress policy, or be implemented within the first 120 days. He would also
No, we need clarification from there. I remember set time I call UPSA, coach Munana Sentiasian and May. And they are winning a big case otukono ababese and no say a loan. What is it? A loan or free? And who here to
next one, so you say he would introduce the following social interventions, not just interventions we or the interventions we better. Free tertiary education for persons with disability. Not just people who have disabilities, no. Yeah. Tertiary education for free. The Ghana Medical Care Trust Fund, that is also called the Mahama Care Song or the Announce Beba. Into social interventions, no, and also Ebeba in the first 120 days.
Right.
Obesa also commenced the distribution of sanitary pads to female students in primary and secondary schools. I just say sanitary pad who send someone a copy more parliament. Removal of taxes on it and idea. John Dramani Mahama in his first 120 days would commence the distribution of free sanitary pads for all female students in primary and secondary schools. Next, so Obe institute a forensic audit into the following matters of public interest.
Right.
In fact, already was setting up the committee that is going to see to the arrival of the oral. They will look into the issues of the collapse of the indigenous Ghanaian banks and financial institutions at a supposed cost of 25 billion Ghana cedis. Obesanso looking into the illegal printing of money. Next one, so you say 58 million national
cathedrals. I don't say banks collapse. More obi nyana jone say enonti say chentrachi obi a bank ya MPP a bank collapse no ni nyina e ba beba. So dem chen. Aha. Ene me ni bi wa ye ni ho nkomo. Na nkofa adwene bi anto Ghana fo betrim. Ye be hwehwem nkyere say ye hwem wi a obi ade e ba wu. To aso.
Yes. And also they also look into the illegal and inflated single source contracts. They also look into the COVID-19 expenditure scandals, the PDS scandal, the Ejapa scandal, the SML scandal, ambulance spare parts deal, the 13th African Games, Skytrain, Pualugu Dam, Matset, Galamsey fraud, missing excavators, and tricycle. Nina do institute investigations into all of those scandals within the first 120 days. Next is also that they would institute a government policy banning political appointees from purchasing state assets. It is within the first 120 days, or the Mrabeto Ho are a all political appointees say more intimate and to state assets. Next one, so you say he will allocate seed money for the establishment of the Women's Development Bank.
I don't know, say Jane, no Pokwaji, my Her Excellency Vice President,
Yes, the Women's Development Bank. Also, he will launch the following priority job programs in the first budget. Or the Ejumara program, Ebeba. We are overseeing the National Apprenticeship Program in Swaba. Now, very key under this administration, so then 1 million coders program, and also Ebeba to create jobs and then to upskill the youth.
Right.
Next one, also, I say he will commence the review of Customs Amendment Act to scrap the law banning the importation of salvaged vehicles to rescue the local automotive industry at Swame, Magazine, Kokompe, and many others. And you know, Customs Amendment Act, you know, Obesa Shena, Omo review, no. Next one, and so you said they will lay before Parliament a new bill to streamline government scholarship administration, and then to prohibit political appointees from accessing government scholarships and eliminate political patronage, chronism, nepotism, and corruption in awarding government scholarships. Not just
oh, can Matthew Opoko Prempe and Apoku Inye Binone address for the National Service Secretariat Deputy Woman.
And you know, they will lay before Parliament a new bill to streamline anyone. Saying wow, you won't mean access to government scholarships.
No. One more year, Juma, or buy more and politicians. Was meaning political appointees. The only appointee, men say, near NDC was next what the MPP knew I am a damn for. Says that MP and the minister may buy MPP and not Ghana for being a men fan say, why? What the ama, men fan say, Katie Hammond. Says it would near babe, would near appointment be and he had the man in the bar and on a day. One kind politician back. So what's a politician? And baby Asiano, or one with their 1 year by a Wakanya gun and Iba fast one in Sabe. So the ordinary person who here no more arguably was at the end of corner. Nensan can do both say. A course one crofo bin tem, a woman yet nam for near Nianoma, woman, and so that directly and farmer will be your appointee. That cannot mean Nimsen will be
a summer of panic and answer went in here. Or say he would prohibit political appointees from accessing government scholarships and eliminate political patronage. Let's just say he would eliminate political patronage. Good. Chronism, nepotism. Let's just say good. Someone who is a political appointee cannot patronize someone to get a scholarship. Chronism, nepotism, not just a busian.
Yes, I was our appointee name fa. And so what they are man na down for what miss with the politician. No, they deal in a bad in Kaka. And no, a hot problem Kaka beba. Sir. Aye. Na me choboye na me what's it? Na ya choboye is. Jai no do train Kaka answer. Oh, do you know about it? There may be any answer. There be any answer. One night I didn't say I'm going to tell him. Why you go Orange Kettle? Yes, well, university for an hour to MPP or my day. University for an hour, they are not echo support to a Jomelon. Woman would be a to this. So they are not known a yes. We can go more.
Okay.
I want a political appointees known once and only I trade. I can't imagine. Quite.
Next one, so I said they would ban illegal and new mining activities in forest reserves. That is, they'll roll out the tree for life and
blue. Kwame, also. 26 years,
next one, Black Star Experience. And paid security agencies of all militia and vigilante elements. And we know last two, no?
Okay.
He will reopen investigation into major unresolved criminal cases, including the 2020 election killings. I also West Wagon by election violence, murder of Ahmed Swale and Silas, and also Obeshe. Then he also initiates a probe into the man-made disaster caused by the VRA spillage from Akosombo and Kbon dams that displaced and destroyed the livelihoods of thousands of citizens in the Volta, Eastern and Greater Accra region.
Right. Intina 26 near my audience and so say in the first 120 days, so me an area or boss so bra or kind inaugural address no. And no na yabobo bi so amo no near my in any day say obet me a year ho adwuma no. Yen try homra ye koba ye de obewi na fe team A asan ba beto aso. Ye kwa basi.
You'll ever taste.
Hi, baby.
Hi, Mom.